Hybe's nightmare. 5 billion-dollar brands want Jungkook. Now what? 5. Global brands view Jungkook as a strategic entry point into Asian markets. In today's competitive global market, multinational companies are continually seeking effective ways to penetrate the lucrative Asian consumer base. Jungkook, as a key member of BTS and a solo artist with worldwide recognition, has become an increasingly attractive figure for billion-dollar brands aiming to establish or expand their influence in Asia. For many of these brands, ranging from fashion houses to tech giants, Jungkook represents more than just a celebrity endorsement. He is viewed as a cultural bridge and a strategic marketing asset who can resonate across national boundaries, particularly in markets such as South Korea, Japan, China, Indonesia, and Thailand. Jungkook's popularity is backed by quantitative data. His social media presence generates high engagement, his product campaigns often lead to sold-out items within hours, and his name consistently trends globally with minimal promotional effort. These are traits billion-dollar companies find difficult to ignore. From a purely economic perspective, hiring Jungkook can translate into a measurable return on investment, making him a priority target in brand acquisition strategies. Brands see his image as a low-risk, high-reward proposition, particularly because of his ability to appeal to both Gen Z and millennial consumers, two demographics that are increasingly hard to market to through traditional means. Hybe Corporation, which manages Jungkook, faces a complex situation. While his partnerships, like his current ambassadorial role with Calvin Klein, have been highly successful, the growing number of offers from competing high-value brands could lead to strategic dilemmas. These brands may offer exclusivity deals or request scheduling priority, which could disrupt Hybe's internal brand alignment or existing contractual structures. Additionally, Hybe must consider long-term positioning. If too many associations dilute Jungkook's brand identity, it could weaken the premium perception that currently surrounds him. The mounting pressure from billion-dollar brands creates a scenario where Hybe must make calculated decisions regarding which opportunities to pursue and which to decline. This includes weighing short-term financial gains against long-term brand equity. The competition for Jungkook has now evolved into a negotiation over control and direction, with high stakes not only for the brands involved but also for Hybe's broader corporate image and Jungkook's personal branding strategy. 4. Conflicting brand identities could jeopardize Hybe's corporate vision. One of the core challenges that Hybe faces in managing Jungkook's brand affiliations is maintaining a coherent and strategic brand identity. As billion-dollar companies across sectors, from luxury fashion to consumer electronics, vie for his endorsement, the variety of industries and messaging approaches could risk creating a fragmented image. Each brand has its own values, market positioning, and creative direction. Associating Jungkook with too many diverse sectors simultaneously may create inconsistencies that confuse consumers and weaken his overall brand appeal. For example, Calvin Klein positions Jungkook as a symbol of modern youth, confidence, and sensuality. If a tech company or luxury skincare line with a vastly different brand tone tries to use Jungkook to communicate a separate identity, there is potential for brand overlap, contradiction, or dilution. This not only complicates Jungkook's personal branding, but also undermines Hybe's larger strategy of maintaining long-term narrative consistency across its artists. Hybe has historically positioned BTS members with carefully selected partnerships that align with their individual public personas, so deviation from that formula could introduce unintended consequences. Moreover, brand exclusivity clauses are a concern. A high-paying brand may demand that Jungkook limit his associations with competitors within the same industry or market tier. This can restrict future opportunities and place Hybe in an unfavorable negotiating position, especially if multiple offers are under review simultaneously. Conflicting brand demands may also interfere with Jungkook's other professional commitments, including music production, touring, or other media projects. Hybe is thus forced to operate in a high-stakes decision-making environment where every endorsement must be evaluated not just for financial return, but also for alignment with long-term corporate storytelling. Unlike other artists who operate independently, Jungkook's branding decisions ripple across Hybe's ecosystem and affect investor sentiment, public image, and industry partnerships. The interest of billion-dollar companies creates a paradox. While the attention increases Jungkook's commercial value, it also raises the risk of brand mismanagement. TO addressed this. Hybe must implement a strict framework for evaluating partnership offers, possibly including criteria like creative control, campaign duration, audience fit, and cross-industry impact. Without clear internal protocols, the influx of corporate attention could result in inconsistent branding that compromises both Jungkook's unique market position and Hybe's reputation for strategic artist management. 3. Escalating financial offers may create internal inequity among artists. As billion-dollar brands continue to present escalating offers to secure Jungkook as their global face, Hybe faces an emerging internal issue: inequality in the valuation of its talent roster. Jungkook's growing solo profile and increasing number of high-value endorsements may unintentionally create internal tensions among artists managed by the company, including other BTS members and newly debuted groups. While Jungkook's commercial potential is undeniable, his outlier status could foster a perception of favoritism or unequal prioritization within the company structure. Hybe has long presented BTS as a team-driven entity, emphasizing unity and shared success. However, solo activities and endorsements inevitably introduce disparities in market exposure and earnings. If Jungkook continues to attract high-paying deals that are not equally available to other artists, this could influence morale, internal competition, and future negotiations. Other idols under Hybe's umbrella might start to question the allocation of promotional resources, budget, and management attention, particularly if Jungkook becomes a standalone commercial engine. Additionally, this situation complicates Hybe's talent development strategy. The company has invested heavily in newer acts like New Jeans, Ellie Seraphim, and BOY and EXTDOLR, aiming to build multiple revenue streams and reduce over-reliance on BTS. However, the immense corporate demand for Jungkook could redirect focus and energy toward him, delaying or deprioritizing the growth of other artists. Over time, this could undermine the company's goal of becoming a diversified global entertainment brand. Moreover, investors and analysts may also begin to associate Hybe's valuation too heavily with Jungkook's market performance, introducing volatility in perception and stock performance if he decides to scale back endorsements or takes a hiatus. In this way, financial offers from billion-dollar companies are not merely external opportunities. They also function as internal stress tests for Hybe's resource allocation model and brand equity management. To mitigate this, Hybe needs to strike a balance between maximizing Jungkook's commercial potential and maintaining internal brand parity. This may involve setting limits on the number of concurrent deals he accepts or ensuring other artists receive tailored growth strategies of their own. Without such measures, Jungkook's value may come at the cost of the collective harmony that originally defined Hybe's rise in the global entertainment industry. 2. Brand saturation could diminish Jungkook's premium appeal. While the demand from billion-dollar brands signals Jungkook's immense popularity and commercial influence, Hybe must also guard against overexposure. In the luxury and fashion industries in particular, exclusivity is often more valuable than ubiquity. If Jungkook is associated with too many products, campaigns, or endorsements in a short time span, it risks diminishing the premium aura surrounding his image. High-end consumers and marketing analysts pay close attention to brand positioning. Over-association with multiple campaigns, especially across diverse sectors, can make a celebrity feel too commercially accessible, reducing the aspirational value of their presence. This is particularly relevant for luxury fashion brands, where scarcity and elite identity are part of the core value proposition. If Jungkook's face becomes omnipresent, the sense of exclusivity could weaken, prompting high-tier brands to reconsider their long-term partnerships. From Hybe's perspective, the balance between accessibility and prestige is critical. Jungkook's current collaborations are successful because they are perceived as selective and aligned with his personal brand narrative. However, if every brand that can afford his rate is granted access, the uniqueness of his campaigns may disappear. This creates a paradox where increased demand could lead to reduced long-term desirability. This concern also affects fans and consumers. Part of what makes Jungkook's brand associations impactful is the anticipation and rarity of each announcement. Oversaturation would lead to fatigue, where audiences no longer perceive new collaborations as special or culturally significant. In marketing terms, this would decrease conversion rates, reduce emotional engagement, and lower overall campaign effectiveness. To preserve value, Hybe must impose strategic limits and cultivate scarcity. This involves rejecting lucrative offers in favor of long-term brand curation. Campaigns should be staggered, story-driven, and highly selective. Jungkook's appeal lies not only in his popularity, but also in the precision with which his image has been crafted over the years. Allowing unchecked brand participation would jeopardize the positioning that has made him such a valuable commodity in the first place. 1. Legal and contractual complexities are increasingly risky. The sudden influx of interest from billion-dollar brands brings with it significant legal and contractual complications. For Hybe and Jungkook, managing multiple high-value partnerships involves intricate negotiation over image rights, territorial exclusivity, time-bound obligations, and usage limitations. Each brand typically demands unique terms, and reconciling these without legal conflict is becoming increasingly difficult. When handling global endorsement deals, brands often seek rights that span multiple regions, sometimes conflicting with other ongoing or future deals. A fashion brand might want exclusivity in the Asia-Pacific region, while a tech firm might demand that Jungkook not appear in campaigns for any competitors in a related category. These overlapping requests create potential for breaches, legal disputes, or the need for renegotiation. Jungkook's image is also tied to group-related obligations. BTS's group contracts, past agreements, and military service schedules further complicate timing and availability. If a brand launches a campaign that interferes with previously scheduled BTS-related content or activities, it could lead to scheduling conflicts or legal liabilities. Additionally, intellectual property rights over his likeness, digital renderings, or AI-based brand usages are emerging as new legal battlegrounds in the endorsement ecosystem. Hybe must allocate substantial legal resources to navigate these complexities. Every contract requires careful review to ensure it doesn't violate existing agreements or create unwanted precedents. With each new offer, the legal burden increases, both in negotiation and in ongoing compliance monitoring. Any misstep could result in reputational damage or financial penalties. Furthermore, in an age where media moves rapidly and public scrutiny is high, even minor contractual missteps can turn into viral controversies. Leaks about conflicting deals, missed deadlines, or confusing public statements from different brands can fuel speculation and erode consumer trust. Legal control is no longer confined to private boardrooms. It now plays out in real time on social media platforms. Ultimately, Hybe is facing a turning point. Managing Jungkook's brand trajectory requires not only marketing savvy but also advanced legal coordination. The interest of billion-dollar companies is a testament to his influence, but if not managed within tight legal frameworks, it could become a liability rather than an asset.